That's 1, 2, 3. Well, welcome to the Course in Miracles. I appreciate you being here. Would you acknowledge yourself just to stir the energy up? Get some energy in here. Yeah. It's such a thrill for me to get a chance to do this every week because it's inspirational and it moves me. And it beats what I hear coming from pretty much everybody else and everywhere I look. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like you have to be proactive about giving yourself positive things to hear, things that inspire you. And that's exactly what the Course in Miracles does for me. And make sure I got this, okay, get this going the way I want it. All right. I like it when I'm in charge of things. It's up to me what's happening. That's why I've been so successful. So those of you on Facebook Live, I want to welcome you to the Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live, all my mighty companions online and in here. And we're going to talk about today, the section I'm going to cover in the Course in Miracles is the way to remember God. The way to remember God is on page 218 in the Course in Miracles text, the Foundation for Inner Peace version. The way to remember God is the same as saying the way to remember love, which is the same as saying the way to remember what created us, the way to remember who created us. So if you want to remember your source, if you want to get in touch with that which actually creates your experience, and the Course in Miracles says the truth is we know our Creator and we know our relationship to the Creator, and we've forgotten it. Have you ever forgotten anything? Okay, so when you forget something, it's as if you never knew it. So right now, for most of us, it's as if we never knew what created us. And the Course is saying it's because we've simply forgotten it. We've forgotten love, and we've forgotten what's created us. And so this section is going to be really interesting because it's about how to remember love, how to remember what really created me. So I'm excited to see what that means and what that's about. So the Course in Miracles sometimes can seem like it's a challenge because of the language that it uses. It uses Christian terminology to describe universal spiritual themes. It has its own definitions of these terms. The Course in Miracles has its own definitions of these terms. It drives people crazy when they try to interpret the Course in Miracles sometimes based on what they have learned in the past about what these terms represent. So the Course is only talking about love or fear, getting past the part of me that has fear and only tapping into the part of me that's free and the part of me that's loving and the part of me that's peaceful and the part of me, most of all, that is sane. So it's about how do we let go of the insanity in our minds and only tune into the part of our minds that's sane. Is that a worthwhile goal?
Yes.
Is that something we'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the paragraph. We're going to try to see what is the message that we're getting so that we can remember God, so that we can remember love. The Course says that the first thing you should do if you want to have a positive, powerful manifestation is set a goal. And so you set the goal, and you set the goal by saying, what do I want to come of this? What is the purpose? What is this for? So I'd like for you to take just a few seconds to remind yourself why you came. And I really want to thank you for coming because it's a lot easier to stay at home and live stream it or just do something else on a beautiful fall day like this. So anybody that shows up, I'm especially impressed. Really, really. Because it would be so easy to just not come and do something else. So thank you for valuing what I do and what comes through me and the Course in Miracles. And if you're here for the first time, I want to welcome you and tell you the only rules of my class, the only rules from the Course. And that is that you don't have to believe the ideas from the Course. You don't have to accept the ideas from the Course. You don't even have to welcome the ideas from the Course. So that generally means most of us already have the right attitude. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to accept it. And you don't have to even welcome it. We're way ahead of the game. The next thing it says is some of the ideas you may resist. Now, it didn't just say resist. It actually said what? Actively resist. So I'm telling you again, some of the stuff I say you may resist. And then it says some of the ideas you might find hard to believe. Some of it you might find hard to believe. Some of it you might find hard to believe. Does everybody know what that means? Yeah. Okay, that means you may not accept it. You might not welcome it. You might not believe it. And then it says some of the ideas may seem startling. Some of the ideas might seem startling. Some of the ideas might startle you. And then it says, this is my favorite line, you are not asked to judge the ideas. So we're not coming to the course or studying the course to sit around and analyze it. I don't do that in my class. This is not a class where people sit around and analyze the Course in Miracles. This is a class where we try to hear what it's saying and remember it. That's why I call myself the Divine Repetition Teacher. Earl Purdy, that's my little thing, DRT, the Divine, right behind my name. So every way I possibly can, after 40 years of working with this material, is to help a person remember it, because you will find that it's in the remembering of it that you get the miracles. It's in the analyzation of it that you destroy the meaning of everything you're hearing, according to the Course. So I'm not making this up. I'm saying what the Course says. That sitting around analyzing the Course in Miracles actually destroys the meaning of what it's saying. So I'm going to teach the Course the way the Course says teach it. Even though we've learned to analyze, to figure it out. But this is going to be a vacation from that, because if you think about it, that's what we do all the time. We're always trying to figure stuff out. It's tiresome. So don't add this to the figuring out. Right? And then it says that this is the next big one. It says their use will give the ideas meaning. Does everybody know what use means? Okay. Their use, the use of the ideas will give the idea. Whenever someone tells me they're practicing the Course and they're not getting the results, I do not believe them. I don't believe them. I think they may be thinking about doing it. I think they may have read it and might be thinking about doing it, but I don't believe that you can really do what the Course is saying and don't get the result, because the Course in Miracles is trying to change our perception of things. It's not trying to teach us how to manifest a house, a car, a soulmate, a better career, a better job. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about changing your perception so that if you do have any of those things, or you're manifested into those things, you can give yourself peace with it. So it's not about manifesting the car, it's about, can you have peace driving it? Not about manifesting the house, can you have appreciation and love in it? It's not about, can I manifest the mate, are y'all gonna be crazy? And how not to be crazy. I'm telling you, people think the Course is about manifesting. It is not about manifesting anything but the peace in you that's already there, that's being blocked by your thinking. The ego is nothing but the voice in your head that you're listening to all day long. And if that voice is making you feel anything but peace when you listen to it, it is your false self. It is the false voice. It is not your true God love voice. But what that voice is your child. The Course says, that's your son. That's your creation. That's your child. Just like you were created, you make up the way you look at things and the way you interpret things. And that's what you've made. And so the Course says we are as protective of the way of thinking we've made as that which created us is protective of us. And you know that's the truth. Most people would rather be right than to be happy. They're defending their thought system even past the point they even see that what they think is crazy, rather than admit that they're wrong. Yeah. Have you ever done that? Sure. Yeah, well, you just hung on to something even though you knew it was just pitiful. But you still would defend it no matter what. So the Course says, it says, using it will give the ideas meaning to you, using it will give the ideas meaning to you, using it will give the ideas, using the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you, and using it will show you that it's true. It says the ideas will show you that the ideas are true. And when you have a correct perception, you feel joy. When you have an incorrect perception, you don't.
True.
So if you are sad and depressed, angry and upset, you are wrong.
Thank you.
You are wrong according to this. You're wrong. However you're looking at it is wrong. Then that my mind goes, you mean even if I lost somebody that I love through the transition called death, and I'm feeling all miserable about it, yeah, the way you're looking at it is wrong. The Course in Miracles says death is a liberation. Just how much money you save on rent alone. Food costs, car insurance.
And you only need to use the bathroom.
You don't have to use the bathroom anymore. That's worth it, especially at my age. I long for those days I sleep the whole night. I remember that. Start free. Y'all better appreciate that while you can. Looks like somebody cut the air off. There's still people here after service.
Sheila likes to save on the Excel.
There he goes.
Which is fine. I understand that. Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, I had to make sure that I turned that on because you all are really hot. So I'm going to take it slowly because you only have to remember one thing and use it all the time. So it's not about how fast I cover the material, it's how much we hear what it's saying, right? So let's take the very first sentence. Page 218, chapter 12. The way to remember God, which would be what? The way to remember love. Okay, it says miracles are merely the translation of denial into truth. It's a miracle if you stop denying the truth.
True.
It's a miracle if you stop denying the truth. It's a miracle, and the Course says to deny means to not, choose to not know. It says denial is choosing to not know. It's a miracle. So what's the truth? You are only love. That's it. And any thought you have about yourself other than the fact that you are loved, loving, and lovable is a lie.
I'm excited about that.
I could tell there was overwhelming response from the audience. It was like the best news that everybody, you don't really know me, black man. If you think I'm only love, just don't do what I want you to. And you'll see there's some other part of me that you don't know about. That's what I love about the Course. You can stop right there. So it's a miracle if you think you're totally innocent and not guilty at any level. It's a total miracle if you see yourself as whole and healed and beautiful and priceless. It's a miracle if you were to see it as if you're responsible for what you see, how you see, and you're not a victim of anything you see, and you deserve love no matter what. That's a miracle if we were to truly see ourselves that way. And then the Course says, if to love oneself is to heal oneself, those who are sick do not love themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And sick means out, not in peace, non-right-minded. It's not just talking about you got a backache. Those who do not see themselves as love are going to get sick. Those who don't believe that know that they're only loved will perceive sickness. So where is my sickness coming from? When I feel sick now, I said, Purdy, you're not loving yourself. And that has taken the form of a backache, headache, cold, not peace on my job, upset in my relationship. My perception is sick. Because to heal me is to love me. So I'm going to make sure I'm around people as much as I possibly can who love me. I'm offing you if you don't. I'm offing you. You will not get a phone call. You will not ever hear me say, let's go out. I'm not going to spend any time with someone that we don't appreciate each other. I ain't going to do it. I've been doing this since I was 23 years old. I'm a slow learner. And
Why stop now?
you know, because I have a choice of who's my friends. I have a choice of who I'm going to hang out and spend my time with. That's not saying we can't go through various upsets, but it's a difference between you're upset about something and you want to do something proactive to get past it, and you just want to be upset and you just want to blame everybody else and you just generally a bummer. Did everybody see the subtle difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it says, and that's a loving thing to do. That doesn't make me cruel. Because the more I love myself, the more I have love to give. The more I love myself, the more I have love to give. The more I love Earl, the more I have love to give. And to be around someone and we're not reinforcing how lovable we are is not going to help either one of us. And line by line, right? Therefore, those who are sick and don't love themselves are asking for the love that would heal them. So I'm unhappy, I'm miserable, I'm sick. What am I saying? I'm asking for the love that will heal me. I'm asking for the love that will heal me. I'm asking for the love that will heal me. Now, if I'm in relationship with people who love me, they're going to answer that call for love. If I'm in a relationship with people who don't care about me, they are not, so I'm going to stay sick. I'm asking for the love that's going to heal me. I'm asking for the truth that's going to heal me. I am sad. I am upset. I am sick. I feel lack in my life. I feel unfulfilled. I'm asking for the love that will heal me. I'm asking for the love that will heal me. I'm asking for the love that will heal me. How many of you are asking for the love that will heal you in some area of your life? Everybody raise their hand. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right.
That was easy.
That wasn't that easy, because we wouldn't have believed you no way if you had kept your hand down. Okay, you would have only been trying to impress yourself. Okay, which is okay. Okay. So if we don't deny the truth, that's a miracle. If to love oneself is to heal oneself, if I'm sick and upset, then I'm not loving myself. So I'm doing what? Asking for the love that will heal me. So why do I want a special love relationship? Why do I want a special love relationship? Why do I want a healing? Why do I want relationships? So that we can give and receive love together. We can give and receive truth together. We can help each other heal together. And we can go to the movie. And we can go out and party. And we can travel. There is no sacrifice on this path. It's not asking you to give up worldly pleasures. Your body never wants one single pleasure you have through it. Your body has no hope of pleasure. Your body isn't sitting there saying, God, I wish somebody would kiss me. It is not your body that's wishing for something to drink. It's not your body that's wishing for a warmer or a cooler room. Your body just does what it's told. It's you that want to be kissed. It's you that want to be held. It's you that wants to have those experiences. It isn't your body wanting anything you give it. Deep. That's deep. That's deep. So the Course in Miracles says, so why is that person sick? Well, it says, if they knew the truth about themselves, they could not be sick. So you don't tell me you're sick and then tell me you know the truth. The Course says there are no private thoughts. If you know the truth, you absolutely know there's no private thoughts. Because if you're sick, if you're miserable, if you're unhappy, if you're judgmental, if you're attacking, you don't what? Know the truth about yourself. The murderer doesn't know the truth about himself. The abuser doesn't know the truth about himself or herself. There's no such thing as an unloving person who's smart. There's no such thing as an unloving person who knows the truth about themselves. Deep. So that's why people get depressed when they hear the Course instead of feeling good. Because what it does is it gets you out of denial. It's the toughest book in the world to study if you're insisting on thinking you're nicer than you are. You will not want this book. If you really think you're a really nice person and you're really conscious, and because you can say stuff. You can say stuff, right? And the Course is saying, no, well, actually, if you really knew the truth and you really knew you were the child of God and you really knew you were innocent and you knew you wasn't a body, you wouldn't be upset and you wouldn't be sick. That's why the beginning workbook lessons have a lot of lessons that say, I do not know what anything is for. I don't understand anything I see. I do not. He's trying to let you know you don't know anything. And I love how he talks about how it's talking about real peace, not that kind we think of. That like I feel peaceful because I had a wish or a fantasy and it came true and now I'm feeling good. He said that ain't no real peace, that's phony peace. Real peace is I lost my job, my house burned down, and my car broke down, and my mate left me for my soccer coach. And I'm peaceful. That's real peace. It's not based on anything going the way you think you want it to go in the script that you've written for yourself for how your life is meant to be. And that's why we have to watch this. It's cool to want to manifest, and it's cool to want a goal set, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're doing it from the perspective of that's going to make you happy, then you don't know the truth and you're going to be sick. Even if that sickness takes the form of you being constantly disappointed about one thing or another. One day you're going to realize that none of this is happening, including this class, and you don't even exist. And then you're going to be happy. I didn't know that you knew my happiness was me not even existing. Yes. That's when you'll be happy. Because the thoughts you have about yourself are so not true that if you were to get rid of the self-image you made up, you'd be happy. That's why it says it's an illusion. And the Course says it's an illusion. It's talking about the false ideas you have about things. And the number one false idea you have about things is that you are separate and you are a body. I'm going to say things that the book says. Then you can work it out. Okay. The task of the miracle worker thus becomes to deny the denial of the truth. So what is my job? My job is to stop denying the truth. Stop denying that I am loved and you are loved. Stop denying that we are one with each other. Stop denying that you are not a victim. Stop denying that you are powerful. Stop denying that God is real. You are not alone and you have guidance. Stop denying the truth. So you are a miracle worker if you're walking around not believing what the world teaches. That's the secret to happiness. Take anything the world teaches you and reverse it. Now you know what's true. Try it sometime. Favorite Seinfeld episode. Everybody know that episode where George decided one day he was going to do everything that was the opposite of his instincts and habits, and it was the most successful day of his life. Where he would normally not talk, he would talk. He would say just the opposite of what he would normally say to a girl if he was trying to. He did everything opposite. His life just flourished. The truth is the opposite of anything that a person that's unhappy is telling themselves is the opposite of the truth. So you're the most wrong when you're unhappy. You should least trust your guidance that you give yourself when you're unhappy. A sad person should never listen to themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to make the best choice when my perception is the most distorted. You know, I was in a conversation recently. There was a powerful conversation and it brought up feelings and emotions. And then I went, okay, I'm not feeling peace, so I'm going to shut up until I feel more peace. And then the person said, well, you know, you need to, I only hear you talk to me. Tell me something. You know, and I'm listening. I'm saying, oh, yeah, I am. Just give me a minute because I do not want to respond out of anything but peace because my goal is for both of us to join and to not have any anger or separation so that we can have the most optimum solution to what we're talking about. Now, what I used to do, that's the same response. Acknowledge me, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more time.
Yeah.
Listen to me. So we were able to do it because the other person also had the same goal and wanted to do the same thing. That's why you try to form as much as you can intimate relationships with people who share your purpose and your values. Because then you don't have to convince them to go along with the program that will solve the problem, because they also want to use the truth to get out of the situation. So you're not having to play the role of, I'm teaching you how to respond the way I'm trying to learn how to respond. Yeah, you follow me?
Yeah.
It's so much easier to be in friendships and relationships with people who also want to be happy. You gotta try it. Who really want to practice the truth. So the Course says, the sick must heal themselves because the truth is in the sick. Okay, so I don't love myself, but love is in me. I may not see my abundance, but abundance is in me. I may not see my glory. I may not see my spirit, but my spirit is in me. Yet having obscured it, I am unhappy because I have hidden how cool I am. So that's what you walk in the door. You come in, you're depressed. I ask you how you feel. You say, oh, man, I'm hiding how cool I am. And I come and give you a hug. Come on. Hiding how cool you are. Well, I'll tell you, you're so cool. And those are some awesome outfit, too. That's how you remember God. That's how you remember God. That's how you remember God. This is how you remember God. This is how you, don't forget, what's the name of the section? The way to remember God. That's different from me hearing me talk to you about, and you do this to remember God, and you focus in on God. Notice it hasn't said anything about that. The way to remember God is for you to stop denying the truth, knowing that when you love yourself, you heal yourself. When you're sick and unhappy, you're not loving yourself. That means you're asking for love because you're denying it to yourself. And if you knew the truth about yourself, you couldn't be sick and unhappy in the first place. And the job of all your friends and to you and you is to help you stop denying the truth about yourself. You have hidden the light and the truth in yourself. That's why you're upset today. That's why you're upset about anything you're upset about. You're hiding it. So it's not that you don't have abundance, you're hiding it. So you are rich, but you have hidden wealth. You know, had a friend of mine just the other day just found $100,000 they had forgot.
Where were they?
That was great. That was so great. I was like, I need to hear that. Just say that one more time. I just want to know that's possible. That means I could have wealth I've forgotten. Right? That means you can have blessings that you've forgotten about. Wow. I remember when I was happening, I would walk down the street and go, "There's a quarter." I gotta spread my thoughts. I gotta think bigger. What about you all? You know.
$1.
Yeah, okay. Work up to $1. That's reasonable. That's what I'm saying. Work up to the dollar. Work up to the dollar. You know. Be thankful for those people who want to join you in healing situations where you both want love and you both want peace together. Put energy into those relationships. Wow. See how slow course is like, I call this the crock pot course. And you know anything in Colorado don't have pot in it. This is a spiritual edible. I know, I'm channeling you. That's right. Why is it that you must heal yourself? He says, because the truth is in them, yet having obscured it, since you blocked it, what is the instructions? The light in another man must shine into theirs, because that light is there. So the Course is saying, since I'm hiding the truth in myself, the truth in another person's mind needs to shine into my mind, because my light is their light. So now I'm upset. The truth in your mind, notice it says the truth in your mind must shine into theirs. And it didn't say you would necessarily say one single solitary word to them. I think sometimes it's easier to heal with a person when you just bypass their ego altogether and just go straight to the heart and straight to the mind. So a lot of times as you become more awakened and you become more enlightened, you get quieter. You don't talk more, you talk less, because you really don't want to engage the person's ego at all. You don't even feel like listening to their ego, so you don't even say anything. You know, you just go past their ego. How? Because your mind and my mind, our minds are joined. You want the Holy Spirit in you, the truth in you, to talk to the truth in me up there. And then this down here, we're going to overlook it. That's why God don't talk to you. You ever wonder why God don't talk to you? God has no interest in engaging your ego. It has no interest in engaging the part of you that thinks you're a body, thinking that you're separate, thinking that you're guilty, thinking that you're not enough, worrying about how you're going to make it. That part of you has no reality to God. The part that has reality is the part of you that is God-like, that is love, that is real. Then let that part control a little puppet called Earl Purdy. The puppet is sitting in the seat. The puppeteer is the one that's behind the whole thing. And the puppeteer is making you look like you're looking right now. And sometimes y'all look like some pretty sad puppets. And sometimes y'all look like ecstatically loving puppets. I see every kind of face imaginable as I look around this room. From the puppet that looks joyful and thrilled by what I'm saying, to the one that looks like they want to kill me, to the one that looks like it's depressed, to the one that looks peaceful. You know, the next time you think you're a pleasant person, but nobody seems to be attracted to you, freeze your expression and go and look in the mirror. Don't change your expression. Just keep it exactly the way it is and go look in the mirror and you'll see why there's dust on your cell phone. Tell you, an enthusiastic person, an energized person is magnetic. You would not come to this class if I was completely boring and dead energy. You wouldn't walk through the door. You wouldn't bother to get in. So the same thing is true about you. There's nothing more magnetic than an enthusiastic being who loves themselves. Because they can be free and loving with you because they're not trying to get anything from you, so they have nothing to lose, so they're open. You're afraid to love, you're a getter. If you're afraid to love, you are a getter. You're a person who just wants to get from other people. Because if a person is whole and complete and they're giving out of a sense of the truth and their wholeness and completeness, then they have nothing to lose, because no matter what they give, they will not lose because they love themselves and they're whole. But if I'm empty and I'm full of lack, then I'm only going to give if I think I'm going to get something equally valuable in return. I only give to get when I'm a lack consciousness person. I don't give out of my abundance. I give out of my sense of lack. So I'm not going to give you my love unless I'm sure you're going to give it back to me.
With interest.
And after a while, with no interest. Because we lose interest. 0% interest. That's what I got in my relationship with you. 0% interest. Any questions or comments about the first friggin' paragraph? That was one paragraph. This is cheesecake course. You know how rich cheesecake is? You can't take a whole lot of it?
Yeah.
That's Course in Miracles. You have to like do a little nibble of it. Yes, brother.
Yeah, I know for myself, when I'm in lack, I'm not going to be the first to give love because I don't want to get burned. I want to say, okay, what do you got?
That's what I'm saying. You're a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That's right. That's right. That's the way my ego is. But guess what? That's where everybody's is. That's why I don't mind admitting it, because you're just like me. Baby.
I was just gonna say the example of when you're sick, you're calling for love. Really
Yes.
brought to mind like so many examples of, especially I think as we become adults and we are more expected to have everything together.
Yes.
When we're all really often struggling or in worry
Yes.
or pain or all these different things, that being sick can so much be a call for love. Like, oh, I have to call into work. People then ask me if you're okay. I know I call my mom every single time I'm sick, and I just like want her to feel sorry for me to feel better. And it really is, I mean, it's like such a direct example of like I'm really calling for love, that I'm not giving myself at that
You're
moment.
literally calling
Yeah.
for love. Yeah, you're like on the phone. Hey, mom.
I'm like, I know you can't bring me like, you know, it's not about giving me any NyQuil or anything. It's like, I like literally in that moment, I'm just wanting someone to feel sorry for me, and it makes me feel better. And I think that can be so true of being depressed or constantly calling people and this is wrong or that is wrong, and there's always chaos or there's always conflict, and it's like really wanting that kind of attention or, you know, whatever that feels like love. Or young children too, like it doesn't matter if it's negative attention or positive attention, they're just wanting that call for love.
Thank you.
No matter how it comes.
And then your mother answers it.
Yeah, yeah, she does.
Yeah. Sometimes people are so guilty when they make a call for love, the other person go, and you guilty as hell too. I'm glad you feel bad. Have you ever told when you're back in your guilty mind and you told somebody you was feeling bad about something and they reminded you of some stuff you had forgot about that you did? And on top of that, let me tell you what you did last Christmas. Tell me. See, that's an unholy relationship. That's what the Course calls an unholy relationship. I told anybody else before I go to the next paragraph? One, two, three, go. To love oneself is to heal oneself. To love oneself is to heal oneself. To love myself is to heal myself. To love myself is to, somebody say it, to love myself is to heal myself. To love myself is to heal myself. To love myself is to heal myself. To love myself is to heal myself right now. See what I have to do when I do that? I'm trying to drop it from my head to my heart. Trying to get out of being a brilliant, enlightened being from the neck up. But it's not in my body at all. You know, I've met people who could quote every friggin' line in the Course and tell me what page it was on, but they could not give me a simple hug. I'd much rather be with the person who can give me the simple hug and don't know one single friggin' thing the chorus is saying. So I loved about growing up in the Baptist church, especially the Black Baptist church, where the worst person in the choir sound like Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, she only sounds like Aretha. Because it was emotional. It'll drive you crazy if you grew up in one of them churches like you like this. It was serious. Black churches were serious about the feeling and emotion about the Lord. You know, we had people called matrons who wore white outfits. They had one job in the church, that was to help to take the people out who was like losing it. And their job was, oh, let me get you out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So I'm used to emotion and feeling around the idea of God. I'm not used to an intellectual approach to God, where it's all let's sit around and intellectually figure out God. You can't figure out God. You can't even figure out how you're going to pay your bills sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to figure out the universe. We're hilarious. We are hilarious. Don't you think for a second that the higher beings are not having popcorn right now? Just watching. Did you see what he did? I know we are hilarious to higher beings. God, the stuff we worry about, the stuff we're concerned about, it's amazing. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little bit in of the next paragraph. Y'all still with it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Tell me something you heard that you liked, just to inspire me. Somebody share one thing that was meaningful to them.
To love myself is to heal myself.
Thank you, Sunshine. Anybody else? Come on, humor me. Okay.
Well, I'm worrying about getting my bracelet on my arm.
Yes.
The higher beings are eating popcorn.
That's right. They just have you a good time. As a matter of fact, you #1 in the Nielsen rate. Your favorite show is Trudy. The Trudy Show. Anybody else?
Yeah, I like to be able to, like you said, walk by someone or be talking to someone and shut up and don't talk to heal their ego and mine. I don't need to save them. You know, it's better just to be quiet. I love
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Because now here's the kicker, and it's not going to make some people happy to hear this, but I'm pretty good at that. You can only see somebody else's ego through your own.
Thank you.
I'll say it one more time. There is not one single thing that you can point out in me that's not in your own ego. Ego only sees ego. You can't be in your higher Holy Spirit self and seeing everybody else's egos around you. You're only seeing your own ego around you. Oh, I know, that was it. I know. It's all right, I'll stalk you. You just walking down the street, whispering to you. Our minds are joined. There's no way you can go. I'll just think about you. Right. So what you should be doing is thanking all the people you're upset with for getting you in touch with what needs to be healed within you. And then you wouldn't put any attention on them. You put all your attention on getting rid of that quality within your own mind. So you should be walking around, oh, I'm judging this and I'm judging this and I don't like them and I don't like that. They're selfish, they're greedy, they're projecting, they're a victim. So, oh, I got the victim thought. Oh, I got the greedy thought. Oh, I got the selfish thought. Oh, thank you. I know what it is. I need to ask the Holy Spirit to help me get beyond. I'm not going to even get into you. That's the way the enlightened being does it. They wouldn't even try to change you. They would just go, thank you for making me aware of my own issue. Think about what a wonderful world it would be. If every time everybody went, you! Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it.
The light or the truth in the person that is sick or unhappy shines as brightly regardless of the density of the fog that obscures the light. So I don't care how much ego you have, the truth in you is still shining brightly. Perfect example. Bright light bulb I put a blanket over it. Does the light bulb stop shining? No, it's still shining at 200 watts, even if I put a blanket over it. So even though you may have a big blanket over your light called you, it has a social security number. Your blanket has a social security number, all right? The love in you, the truth in you, the light in you, the beauty in you, the guiltlessness in you, the sinlessness in you, still is shining just as bright right now. Your perfection is still shining. Even if you're criticizing yourself right now. That went over big, like other things I said. Okay. Now, so what do? If you give no power to the fog to obscure the light, it has none. See, if I don't give any power to my ego to hide the truth about me, my ego won't have any power to hide the truth about me. If I don't give my ego, my false ideas, the power to rule me, it has no power to rule me. So the Course says, for it has power, it has power only if the Son of God, that's you, the child of God, gives power to it. So my fear has no more power, then I give it power to it. My upset has no more power, then I give power to it. My lack has no more power, then I give power to it. There's nothing that I'm upset about that would have any more power than what? The power I give to it. So whatever you're upset about right now, in whatever area of your life you're upset, you have, that has as much power over you as you're giving it. What's the payoff? Because if you're hanging on to it, there is a payoff. There's something you're getting out of it that you're not ready to give up yet. If you broke all the time, then you're a broke master. Something about that, you're getting some kind of payoff out of it, so you keep yourself in lack all the time. You have relationships that never seem to work out, there's a payoff. There's a payoff in any pattern that you had since you were 3. You're getting something out of that you're not ready to give up yet. I'm like a hog about my fog. I'm a fog hog. I hang on to certain. I found my diary that I wrote when I was like right in the middle of puberty. You will never want to read young boy's diary around 12 or 13. And nothing's more embarrassing than it being your sister that found it and gave it to you. You know she must have looked at it, you know what I'm saying? And then you already, I was like 50. So I read what I wrote. But I can share with you. Some things haven't changed. Some of my patterns are alive and well. I was amazed at the things I was saying at 12 that I still say today. And I'm almost 69 years old. And it's the same thing. It leads me to believe there may be another incarnation or two. But this is going to be the last one. I'm determined. I've decided this is it. This is the last one. This one right here. If I come back, it'll merely be on vacation. I'll be able to bilocate, materialize, dematerialize, all kinds of stuff that we'll learn how to do the once we know we're not our bodies and that our bodies are projections of our mind, then you could project your body anywhere in the mind. You can't do magical, mystical things as long as you think this is you. You can forget it. All that psychic stuff and all that stuff, you hear about the great gurus and they can be in 3 places at once. They thinking different from us. Right? So I had to ask myself, what is the payoff? What is the payoff, Purdy, for the patterns you stick? What is the Purdy pattern? Right? You need to ask yourself, if you always have the same things come up over and over again, put a little emphasis on what is the payoff, more so than all the details of the pattern. Why do you like to keep that going? Now, the Course in Miracles says, if you just want to go straight to the answer that it gives, it says one simple thing. It's your attempt to be special. That's your way of being special. You're the one that always is so poor, you can't pay attention. Wow. So it says, for you must withdraw that power. How do you withdraw that power? You got to remember that all power is of God. So every time I say, God is all the power, love is all the power, God is all the power, God is all the power, that is the undoing of my patterns. Because I'm giving power to my pattern. I'm not giving power to love, power to truth. I'm giving power to my pattern. And so the Course in Miracles says, you can remember this for all the sonship. So what is it that you're supposed to remember for everybody, including the people who are deceiving themselves about how glorious they are? You are to remember for everybody, all power is of God. 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 God's the only thing that has power. The Creator is the only thing with power. Love is the only thing with power. The only thing that has power in my life is my Creator. The only thing that has power is my Creator. You want to undo your patterns from a Course in Miracles perspective? You should be saying, oh, I think I can't pay my bill. All power is of God. I'm having these problems in my relationship. All power is of God. I'm wondering what I'm going to do. I wonder, I'm worried, I'm concerned, I'm unhappy. All power is of love. All power is of love. All power is of God. You know what's such a trip about the Course? It never gives a solution that you can't do today. That's what drives people crazy, because they're used to having very complex solutions that would take them months, if not years, to work out. Why? Because that keeps me suffering until the point of my liberation. I still want to believe I deserve to be punished. So I'll always project a solution into the future. After I do get this 6 months from now, then I'm going to be happy. So that gives me 6 months of suffering before I have the joy. So every time you project anything about your happiness into the future, that's you trying to maintain some level of punishment for yourself. How difficult is it for everybody in this room when they leave here today to say when they're upset or in fear, all power is of God. All power, especially when the book says, you need not believe the ideas. See, that takes away the excuse. Because my excuse used to be, I'm not going to say something I don't believe. I got to believe it before I say it. Which is crazy, because you say stuff all the time that you don't believe. But the one place I notice that people want to have total authenticity is when you say anything of the truth. Well, I can't say that if I don't actually believe that. You're saying stuff all day long that you don't necessarily actually believe. So don't say you can't say all power is of God, and then God tells you, you don't have to believe it. Just say it. Well, let me see. Let me figure this out. Let me analyze this. Let me try to make this make sense to me. Just friggin' say it! God will never ask you to do anything that you are not willing and able to do. And willing and able to do it now. Anything else that you think you have to do that you're not willing and able to do, that's your doing. That's your plan. Spirit is too smart to always set it up that you got to do something you don't want to do and don't know how to do, and you think you ought to do and you should do and you have to do. That's all ego. Love is so much kinder than we are. Real love is so much more kind and gentle than we are. So beings who are enlightened let you stay exactly as you are, being exactly as you are, for as long as you want to be that way. Because they're honoring your right to keep your pattern going, even though there are alternatives and solutions to that pattern. But you're refusing to use them. You ain't going to pick up a book. You don't study. I'm not talking to you. You don't pick up a book. So I know it don't apply to nobody in here. I know y'all always say, all powers of God, all powers of God. We said that 20 times just today. Right? So if you see a person is choosing to stay in whatever it is they're doing and they have alternatives and alternatives are there and help is there, then don't you feel guilty because you're letting them have what they want and you're honoring their right to do it.
Right. Yeah, very good.
I never try to get people to come to my class or try to convert anybody because those are the tough students. I don't want tough students. I don't want students that, okay, Earl versus the class. And he's got to convince, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about the other? And I go, oh, what about you leaving? Do you really think you're that important that I need to spend all my time to convince you that you deserve to have love? You are opposing a guy standing in front of you that says you have a light in you that's so beautiful that it can never be diminished no matter what happens, and you're going to argue with that idea? I'm not as nice as you tell me I am, Earl. That's what the person is saying back in a way. Yeah. You say I deserve to be happy. This book is crap. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to end up happy. It's going to end up happy. You're going to end up happy. You're going to end up happy. You're going to end up satisfied. You're going to end up fulfilled. I don't care how hard you try to punish yourself because you think some part of you is unworthy and guilty. You're going to fail at not loving yourself like you have everything else. I'm a failure. What? I tried to make my life miserable and I failed at that too. I'm a failure. I love being a failure. I'm such a failure. I am such a failure, you all. I tried to think I wasn't worthy, that nobody could love me, that I couldn't be provided for, that God thought I was a sinner, that I failed. I have loving people in my life. I have blessings that I see. I got gorgeous beings in front of me that want to change. I'm a failure. And I'm failing more every friggin' day. I'm a worse failure today than I was yesterday. I hope all of you are lousy failures. In every attempt you make to not have what you deserve. Now, in the paragraph, don't allow the other person not to remember. Their forgetfulness is your forgetfulness. But your remembering is their remembering. Huh. You mean if I remember this, then you'll all remember it?
Sure.
And I'm in control of what I do, but I'm not in control of what you do? Then I'm going to study this, and I've been doing this for 40 years for all of you.
Thank you.
Now you're going to get my bill.
There's $100,000.
Yeah, my $100,000, anybody? All power is to God. All power. So, this is what, I love this. For your remembering is the other person's remembering, for God cannot be remembered alone. You can never remember love alone. Because when you experience real love, the first thing you will realize is you are not alone.
Thank you.
So there's no such thing as I know what love is and I feel all alone. No. When you remember what love is, you'll know you are connected and joined in a way that'll blow your mind with everything around you. To think you love somebody that you don't feel joined with is ludicrous. And I've been in relationships where I did not feel connected to my partner, but yet I was saying I loved them. Bull. I'm calling for love with them. I want love. I remember when I was with a partner, we still close as we can possibly be. This relationship just changed form. But I remember us waking up in the morning, and the first thing we said was, "You know I don't love you, don't you?" I thought it was so romantic. Because I could trust her. We could trust it. What we meant was we are learning what love is. We don't know what it is, so now we can be more forgiving of each other because we want to really know what love is. So we were mad because nothing would makes it harder to forgive somebody if you think you really love each other and y'all mistreating each other. That's hard. But if you know you don't know what it is and you learn to have the fog removed and you all are helping each other remove the fog, then you practice forgiveness because you realize you're both learners. Don't ever tell somebody, "I love you, so I'll never get upset with you no matter what. You can always depend on me. I'll always be there no matter what." Then the minute you are not, they think you're a deceiver and a liar. But if you would say, "Hey, might be there for you." I trust somebody like that. With all these people, I'm ending declarations of love, no matter what. And the first time I do something, I'm like, boop, it's over. God. I am so glad and thankful to Earl Purdy for loving Earl Purdy enough to study the truth and head toward God as my goal. I love you, Earl. I love you, 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 I love you hot. I remember when I wouldn't have said that. But I would have never said that. One of the hardest exercises in any class I used to have was when I would tell everybody in the class to say over and over again, "I love myself, I love myself, I love." They would die. You could just see them melting right there in the chairs before you. "I love myself, I love myself, I love myself." Because we've been taught that that's conceited and arrogant. Wow. I'm remembering for you, y'all. I hope you all are remembering for me, right? And then it says, God can be remembered alone. That's what you forget. That's what you've forgotten, that you can't remember love alone. To perceive the healing of the other person as the healing of yourself is the way to remember God. To know that your healing is my healing, we will remember love. We will remember God. And you forgot your brothers with God. So I didn't only forget God, the creator, love. I forgot who you are. I forgot you, and I forgot God. You are my brothers. Brothers means equals. The Course says a brother is an equal. So it's not talking about a man. It's talking about an equal when the Course says brother. I've forgotten you are my equals. I forget you as loving as I am. You know the truth as much as I do. You're just as powerful as I am. There's nothing different about us. That's what I forgot. Somehow I think I have something that you don't have that I got to give to you because you don't have it. That means I've forgotten you. And, last sentence, God's answer to your forgetting. What is God's answer to your forgetting? It's the way to remember. And that's what I've just shared with you for this last hour. The way to remember. You just got God's answer to you. It just used my body to do it. Thank you for listening to this. Whoa. Now give me some money. Even though true spiritual teachers never ask for anything. I'll be one day.
If you don't fail.
If I don't fail. If I fail, prosperity is just going to come to me anyway. Gosh. Now, thank you very much for sharing with me, especially since this is what I do in the world, because it's my calling. And I believe I'm sustained by the love of God. So I'm having a dream that I'm passing this around. Okay. Also, those of you online, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, go to my website, earlpurdy.com. earlpurdy.com. And I'm available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions, where I use everything I know. And that includes my knowledge of astrology, soul purpose astrology, and numerology. And me being obsessed with the Course in Miracles, so I can always tell you exactly what the Course in Miracles says you should take as an attitude and look at it in terms of going past what you are going through. And I can also use what your astrological chart says as a messenger. Also, answers are everywhere for people with open minds. Answers are everywhere for people with open minds. People who don't have open minds struggle so much more than everybody else does. Because they already think they know, even though they're miserable. And so they miss all the opportunities that they have to get out of the situation that they're in. So remember, if you're unhappy, you don't know. You don't know. If you say you don't know, that opens all the doors of knowledge to come to you. If you say, I know, there's no need for the universe or God to tell you anything or show you anything if you think you know. So stop saying, I know that, I know that, I know that. Get that out. If you're unhappy, get that, don't let that come out of your mouth. You don't know anything if you don't know what we just heard.
What happens when your misery is your norm?
Hold on just a second. Let me finish this part. Now I'll be glad to respond. Also, I do the 3 Facebook Lives, Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook, so you can watch it. Tuesday nights, The Way of Mastery. If you haven't checked out My Way of Mastery, check it out. It's incredible, also teaching. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page. Earl Purdy page. And then on Thursdays, I do what I call hardcore Course in Miracles. And why I call it hardcore is I teach it from the perspective that the people that are watching are Course in Miracles students and really want to master the course, more so than it's people that's doubting the credibility of it and want to debate and argue about it. It's like, okay, Earl, I want to take advantage of your 40 years of obsession if it can save me time. That's what that class is for. So anybody's welcome to watch it, of course. I'll stop you in your house if you want to. No, the truth is, sometimes the greatest joy of a teacher is to be teaching people who are 100% receptive to what's coming through them, and they trust them. See, your students will trust you, who are also your teachers. You're my teachers, as well as my students. So my students will appreciate the way I do it. And they'll say, the way you do it, Earl, is the way I get it, and the way that works for me. Mm-hmm. That's how you'll know. Then the same thing would be true about your partners or your relationships. The same, your partner is not going to be opposing you. Mm-hmm. They're going to go, the way you are is so cool for me. I just want more of you as you. Can you just be more you? That's what, see, and the Course taught me how to recognize love, how to recognize when I'm truly with the right people in my life. And it saves so much time and pain if you just never get involved with situations and people that are not the ones that would be the most harmonious for you. But if you do, and this is the good news, If you do, all power is of God, all power is of God. And if you do, Spirit will use that situation as a way to lovingly guide you and wake you up. It's sort of like how GPS corrects you from wherever you are when you make the wrong turn. It doesn't say go back to where you made. It'll say right where you are. It'll give you a new direction. So if your GPS is really screwed, and where you put yourself and you made the wrong turn, God will guide you out of that right where you are and who you are with. Isn't that beautiful? Does that feel better on the inside? That's how you know it's the truth. The truth will always make you feel better. When you're seeing something correctly, it's going to make you feel lighter. Now, my brother, what was it you about to ask for? I
Well,
called
let's say you probably answered that. I was just thinking to myself when you say being miserable and everything, and you know, those periods in my life, maybe still now, that really it became the norm.
Yes,
I don't know any different.
absolutely.
And my
Absolutely.
friends that weren't miserable, I thought they were like fakes. It's like,
Exactly.
you're
Exactly.
so happy. What the? What?
Right, and you know what's such a trip though, man? Is that when you were unhappy, that was your cue that you were the fake. Only thing missing is my boots. Okay.
I can wait for you to get them.
I know. In other words, again, if I'm not knowing that the love is in me and that I am the love, and therefore that's why I'm sick and that's why I'm happy, then I'm being my fake self. See, your fake self is the one that's not loving itself. So that's what's so cool. What I'm saying is really a compliment. That any time you are telling yourself that you're less than a treasure, you are being the fake self. You are being fake. And what they did is made you aware that I'm being fake, which means I'm not acknowledging how loving I am. So, hugs are available. Thank you so much for coming. I love y'all. Those of you around, thank you for coming. And did you want to make an announcement or something?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of free things in the